is God's covenant with Abraham. And we have chapter 16 and 17 where Ishmael was born, and then 18 we have the obedience of Abraham and he circumcised all the male in his household. And then we have chapter 20 when Abraham went to Gerar, okay? Like the first time he went to Egypt. And chapter 21 is about the death of Sarah, okay? And we are already in chapter 22, and there will be, I think, 5 parts to this chapter. We are dividing this. The title of this lesson for the next 4 weeks is How to Face and Handle Trials for God's Glory. Very, very important lesson. How to face and handle trials for God's glory. Do you go through times of trials? Do you go through times of testings? Okay. I categorize people in 3 different categories. 1 are those people who just came out of trial. 2, people who are in the midst of trial. And then 3rd is people who are getting into trials. So tatlo lang yan. And once you get out of trial, prepare because there will be greater trials ahead. We never grow old for trials. We learned that in the life of Abraham. He was tested over and over and over. And the lesson is not just how to face and handle trials. The point here is how to face and handle trials for God's glory. Paano natin harapin at mapagtagumpayan yung mga pagsubok sa buhay? Hindi lang basta napagtagumpayan mo at nalagpasan. Kundi napagtagumpayan mo, you face it and you overcome it, you handle it in such a way that God is glorified. And so that is the lesson. And I am very excited today because for the first time, I will hear my good friend, Brother Romel. He is part of our congregation in Alkhor. Since today is Alkhor Day, he will come and teach us the lesson. Okay? And after this lesson, I want you to ask all the questions you want to ask. Okay?
Amen.
And today I will not, I just listen. I will not take part in the discussion. Okay? So let's all welcome our teacher for today, Brother Romel. Brother Romel, you come and sige, palakpakan natin yung ating tagapagsalita. Brother, when you came from yung little thing,
It's a good thing that Brother Mike standing with us, answering the questions. Thank you, Pastor, for this opportunity. Actually, this is also, we're talking about testing. This is also testing for me to prepare this Sunday school. And actually, in all honesty, I had difficulty in managing time and going through the entire lesson. Although it is short, to say that I was tested with the time that I have to prepare for it. I'm not used to preparing lessons such as this. Anyway, good morning once again, everyone. Good morning. So as Pastor have said that today we'll be talking about how to face and handle trials for God's glory. And this is in Genesis chapter 22. We're starting in Genesis chapter 22. And I will read the 2 verses. It came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham and said unto him, Abraham, and he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take thou thy son, thy only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee to the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains which I will tell thee of. Father in heaven, praise and thank you for this time. Thank you for your goodness and your faithfulness. Father, that we be your wisdom, that we be able to share this lesson for everyone today. Power me, O Lord, and the Holy Spirit, in Jesus' name. So in today's passage, which is quite familiar to most of us, Abraham teaches us about how to face and handle trials for God's glory. We learn from Abraham's experience that we are never too old to face new challenges in life. He was tested when he was 75 years old. He is still being tested right here when he is already 100 years old. Okay. This record is the greatest test that Abraham ever faced. And the main lesson is obedient faith that overcomes trials of life. So there, as Pastor said, there are 5 parts of this lesson, and today I'll be talking about the first one. First one is expect a test from God. As a Christian, we should be expecting a test from God, as Abraham was tested. Abraham had his share of tests right from the beginning. So we are going through several tests that we have gone through. Number 1 is family test. In chapter 11, verse 27, chapter 12, 5, I won't read it anymore. We will find how God called Abraham to leave his family and go to a place that God wants him to be. Most of us will find this a very difficult test. I mean, how can you leave a family and follow God's calling in your life? But Abraham stepped out by faith. And in verse 5 it says, Abraham took Sarah his wife and Lot his wife and Lot his brother's son and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gathered in Haran, and they went forth to go into the souls, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. You know, Brother Mike will be leaving tonight. He will be leaving Qatar tonight. I believe he passed this test. He will be leaving his loved ones along with his TPC family and Ito family. This is a difficult test for him, but for God's calling, he has to leave his family. So for him, this is a family test for him. We might be tested differently. None of us are going to be called and leave our family to undergo a family test. Family test will be our own comfort zone, that we have to get out of the comfort zone and be tested and go to a place that we are not comfortable. Maybe you are being called to go to Alkhor. We all have been comfortable in Doha. I know traveling to Alkhor is very far, and maybe you are being called to join us in Alkhor. That is the family test. Number 2 is family test. It says in chapter 12 to 10, 13, 14, it's when Abraham left Canaan because of the famine test. There was a great famine in Egypt, in Canaan, and Abraham failed this test because he doubted God and went down to Egypt for help. Are you being used by God in this place, but struggles to make ends meet? Maybe you need to stay and see how God works in your situation. This is a test most of us are familiar with or have experienced already. Some of us will be going through this today. I don't know. This is family test. Well, I don't know why Pastor gave this lesson to me. Somehow, as I was reading the lesson, it kind of hit me and remembered one great family test that I had in my life. And if you give me a few minutes to share, many years ago in my life, I mean, not so many years ago, I'm still young, many years ago in my life, I had probably the greatest family test in my life. Financial test is common to each one of us, probably the most common denominator among us. I had the most difficult time in my life. I needed money. I borrowed from banks, from all the people that I have known, from my friends. You know, and I'm out of job. Now I have 3 kids, and I have a wife, I have a family. The kids are still going to school, and paying rent, and all these bills. And I have reached the point that I don't know where I will get my next resources. And out of desperation, the only thing that I could think of is, by the way, I have insurance. My wife, is this thing or my wife doesn't know about this. I have an insurance policy. The only thing that I could think of is to claim the insurance policy. But how do I do that? I cannot kill myself. Insurance will not pay you if you kill yourself. I have thought it through. It's not a big amount, but I think it's going to be sufficient for my family to pay off whatever they need or start a new life. The one thing I could think of is to die accidentally. This is my family test. But how do I die accidentally? All I could think of is getting killed by somebody, by getting robbed by somebody, going to a very dark place. There is a place in our city that is so infamous for having robbers, robbing people out by knife point, and some are actually getting killed. I mean, these are some probably drug race addicts. So I went there one dark night hoping that my plan would succeed. I went there. I was waiting for somebody. My plan was, if somebody would try to rob me, I would fight the robber. So I would get stopped or shot, I would die. So that's not straight out there. And then my family come back and claim the insurance. We were there one dark night. For all the success story of people getting robbed in that place, Some other day I went back home. To cut a long story short, nothing happened to me. I was home. I was alone in my room. And then somehow I get to my senses, and I have never prayed so hard in my life. I have never prayed so hard in my entire life. I cried to the Lord. I was facing down. I was like this, facing down. I never cried so hard. And prayed to the Lord so hard. And asked Him, Lord, what do you want me to do? Of course, this is in Tagalog. Lord, anong gusto mong sabihin sa akin? Anong kailangan gawin? Anong gusto mong gawin ko? I just prayed so hard, just one time. Of course, nothing happened right after, but little by little, resources came in. Found a good paying job. I'm not rich, but I'm comfortable. I hope I will never go through again that test, but I think I failed it for thinking of doing it my way. But I have learned my lesson, and praise God, I I was able to continue on. I just prayed, and God allowed me to pass the test. Number 3 is fellowship test. Chapter 13, 5 to 18, Abraham was separated from Lot because the shepherds are fighting over the land to feed their cattle. So we need to expect to be tested with our relationship with our loved one, even with a brother or sister in faith. Abraham gave way to his nephew, and we can be like him. Instead of getting into conflict, we can give way. It's not too much to rise above and be the better person or be the better Christian. Number 4 in chapter 14, 1 to 6. I won't read over the passages. Abraham also had a fight test. This took place when he rescued and recovered Lot and other captives along with their belongings. Abraham vowed to rescue Lot, and with God on his side, he succeeded. There could be a personal battle going on in your life today. Maybe you are being tested in your workplace, or with your boss, or with your colleagues, or even the church. This is your fight test. You can rise above this test and glorify God with the outcome. Number 5, fortune test. This is somewhat similar to the famine test, but it's the exact opposite. Abraham passed this test when he refused the wealth offered to him by the king of Sodom. As he said in verse 22, and Abraham said to the king of Sodom, I have lifted up my hand unto the Lord, the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. Are you being tested today of promise of material gains in exchange for a commitment you already made to God? I believe Brother Mike also was tested recently on this fortune test. He was offered a job after he had already submitted himself for the mission. I think he was offered 2 jobs actually, which would offer him greater pay than what he has, than what he is receiving right now. So imagine that, offering yourself to serve God and that being asked, would you like to have this job? This is how much you will get? You just imagine what is going through his mind. I believe he did pass the test. Fatherhood test. Now, this might be for Abraham only. He failed his test when he got impatient and listened to Sarah's suggestion to sleep with Hagar. You might not be similarly tested, but in other ways, as a parent, there might be some testing. I have 3 children, the eldest is already an adult. The two others are young adults. It is always a challenge dealing with the children who has their own mind already. So this is a test. They have different personalities, different temperament. So it's difficult how to deal with the children. My wife, who is back home, is always being tested on how to raise my children. So I think she's being tested for many. Number 7, farewell test. Chapter 21, verse 14 to 21 speaks of the time when Abraham needed to send Ishmael away, even though it broke his heart. I hope we don't have to send anybody away because it broke our hearts, but Maybe you have something that you have to let go. Maybe you have a hobby, a habit. You need to let go. That is consuming your time. That is meant from God. Maybe a friend who is influencing you to be a not so Christian instead of you winning him over to, instead of you winning a friend to Jesus. So that will be your farewell test. It is important to remember that not every difficult experience in life is a personal test from God. Okay? Not every difficult experience in life is a personal test from God. Sometimes it's just a persecution from Satan who wants to hurt us. The cause of Job is a classic illustration of this. I mean, most of us are familiar with the story of Job. So that is Satan persecuting Christian. Sometimes it is self-inflicted and a result of our disobedience, wrong actions or wrong choices. What are our wrong choices and wrong actions? Wrong actions are these vices that some people would have, like smoking or drinking or other forms of vices. My father, who is 76 years old, the doctor told him that within 5 years, if you don't stop smoking, you will develop into a full-blown vice. He still wouldn't stop. He would still argue with me and being shared with the gospel. He would argue with me to this day. So I'm praying also that I know the time would come that he would go. But I would be more devastated if he doesn't come to the Lord Jesus Christ. So asking you to pray for my father and my mother, Romy and Aleli. That they will, Romy and Aleli. They may accept the Lord Jesus Christ. They have heard the gospel many times. I have shared it to them. My eldest son shared it to them. They have been indoctrinated into believing the Mormons, because Mormons are friendly and they keep visiting my parents, and so it's quite difficult. What are the other actions that we do that will result into us being tested? There's a lot, actually. It could be also marrying the wrong person. We are told to marry an unbeliever. My wife made the wrong choice, but she was tested. But here I am, I think I'm the one that's being tested now. So if you are single, please prepare yourself to marry into or get into a relationship with a non-believer. Prepare for the worst. You could also say food choices. Some people have food restriction, but decides anyway to eat them. Right? So you are being tested with arthritis or pains in the body. Gout, yes. But sometimes our hurts are simply a part of our normal human life. As we grow older, our body weakens. It's the normal wear and tear of the body. We became less healthy. We suffer pains and ailments. Some visions are impaired. Some experience different pains in different parts of their body. Sure, I'm not too old, but I have different pains in my parts of my body. I have pains in my feet, my knees, my shoulder, and just recently my hands. So this is a testing for a lot of us who are going through the phases of getting not so young. And let us see, we must learn to distinguish between trials and temptation. Temptation comes from our desire within us. Just go to James. James chapter 1, verse 12. Let me just read this quickly. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away with his own lust and enticed. Then when the lust hath conceived, bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Do not err, my beloved. So while trials come from the Lord, who was a special purpose to fulfill, you cannot say I am being tested when there is a desire involved, personal desire involved. Temptation are also used by the devil to bring out the worst in us. And trials are used by the Lord to bring out the best in us. Temptation seems logical, while trials seem very unreasonable. So, why would God give Abraham a son and ask him to kill him? Imagine Abraham, his only son, good beloved, if God would ask him to kill him. So we as believers face similar temptation to sin and weaken our testimony. But not all believers experience the same trials of life. Trials are tailor-made for each believer. One temptation or trials, probably be overcome by Brother Mike or Bonnie, but not me. For my trials, I can overcome it, but maybe not. It is tailor-made for each individual. He sends us trials we can bear. So if God sends you a trial, know that, but you will get over it. Know that you will pass it. And you will endure it, and God will be glorified in your life. Abraham was faithful to God even in times of trial. Passed and failed the test, but he remained faithful. We can also go through these trials in our life. What seems to be a mess became a message. And his test became a testimony. The mess is a message. Let test be a testimony. Listen to what God is telling us and do what He wants us to do. Listening and doing. Mess, message, test, testimony. Most often than not, we don't listen and we do what we want to do. As Abraham experienced testing, we are also going to be tested. This is the first lesson that we must expect testing from God. This is the first lesson. We must expect to be tested by God. Because Christian life is not easy. So let the mess be a message, and the test of your life be your own personal testimony.
Were you blessed? Oh, that was great. I really enjoyed it very much. Did you? I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. The illustration he used is personal testimony that he incorporated in the lesson. The way he spoke, very gracious, very soft. To me, it's like it's a breakfast but it's buffet. Have you had a breakfast and it's buffet? And that's how I felt. Thank you so much, Brother Romel, for the wonderful lesson. Were you blessed?